Let's actually get some reaction and start at the Bullring press room where the News 24 senior sport reporter Khanyiso Tshwako joins us to give us some reaction. Of course, Khanyiso, we thought it would be a different outcome for the Proteas. We are emotional at the moment.
It is a rather painful moment, but South Africa have tried. It's their first World Cup final ever. They played as well as they can. They needed to get the highest successful chase at the Kensington Oval. They needed to get the highest successful chase in the World Cup, T20 World Cup final. They haven't. They fell short, and it's one of those where we can look back and say South Africa haven't choked. India just held their nerve better. I think that's always the narrative that South Africa chokes in big games. They haven't choked. They needed to create history. They couldn't, and it's one of those where they needed to be a winner. They needed to be a loser. There were moments where India thought they could have won the game. That first over from Jansen, they grabbed the initiative there. That wicket, Clarkson's wicket taken by Pandya, two key moments in the game that South Africa did have a grip on. And again, T20 cricket is made or broken by those particular moments.
Absolutely. It was such a narrow loss for the South Africans, only 7 runs. They really stepped up to this final, as you say, making history, reaching this point. And of course, for India as well, they've gone the entire tournament unbeaten, creating history for themselves as well.
Yes, indeed. I mean, India, remember, haven't won a T20 an ICC tournament for 11 years until now. They've lost every final they've been in. They lost, remember, they lost 2 Test match championship finals. They lost a World Cup final at home. They also lost the Champions Trophy final in England in 2017. So for them, it's a bigger moment. They've been worried sick in terms of not being able to win the tournament. I think they're fine. It's delivered at our expense, but I think at the end of the day, South Africa should be commended for one getting into the final and take the final so deep.
I want us to take it back to just that toss when India won it and decided to bat first. Were our backs already against the wall because of just how much it would have taken for our batters to then put up a bigger score?
Look, if you look at the mode of the dismissals, they were chasing runs. I mean, if you're going to chase 177 in the final, it's a tough out. It's a tough out. And it's a tough out in the tournament where batting has not been particularly easy. Another Barbados has been one of the more easier pitches to bat on through the tournament. But I think at the end of the day, the movement, I always felt that 160 plus was always going to be a tough ask for South Africa. Yeah. And once India got off to that fly, even though South Africa were always able to check India's momentum, I always felt that the game was a bit too far once they made 177. But again, South Africa made more than a decent fist of chasing the target.
No, absolutely. That 176 was really a big total, and we see now in terms of the Proteas just unable to chase that. What do you make just in terms of individual performances when we look at Marco Jansen with the ball and just now with the bat? Was this a good outing for him?
Look, I mean, it's hard to blame a player when they have a freeze of nerves. It's a big game. It's Marco Jansen's biggest game in his career. Yes, you one hope that a player holds the nerve. It wasn't the case for Marco Jansen. So when you look at the finals, yes, the numbers will show that he didn't have a great game, but you can't sometimes blame a player because they're human beings. They're like everyone else. Some players control the nerves better than others. I mean, if you look at this particular game, India in particular has controlled the nerves better than South Africa. So it's just one of the games where it stops being it becomes a game of skill and ability until a certain point. Then it becomes a game of nerves. It becomes a game of mental strength. And I think India, having experienced so much heartbreak and having just much more playoff experience in South Africa, just knew when to just hold and control the game when it mattered.
76 from 59. Virat Kohli was exceptional today.
That's the innings that wins matches. Top order 50. Top order 50 wins games all day, any day, especially big top order knocks who win your finals. And that I think was what was missing from South Africa, because there were starts from Stabs, there were starts from just to cock. And at the end of the day, those are the kinds of innings that win matches. Catches win matches. South Africa didn't drop any, India didn't drop any, but you need a match-winning knock, and that was the knock from Kohli.
I look at some of the partnerships, you know, that Stubbs-de Kock partnership, which was coming so well. And of course, Patel made sure that he puts an end to that. Also, Henrik Klaasen, half century, he came through, did amazingly well. Those back-to-back sixes, you know, those are also some of these standout performances that we will remember for a very long time, over and above, you know, the Proteas reaching the final for the very first time.
Indeed. But I think the key matter is what the top order starts weren't converted. And when you look back at how this game has panned out, that's where it was probably decided and mattered. Because if de Kock, if a Stubbs had reached a 50, they would have saved a significant amount of the pressure off the low order. Yes, the low order again came through, but starts must be converted. And if you don't convert starts, unfortunately, in any form of cricket, pretty 30s and pretty 30s don't matter. It's that simple.
No, absolutely. And I know you are saying, you know, this is a big stage. We shouldn't be singling out individual performances. But when we look at the likes of Reza Hendricks, captain Aiden Markram, they could have done better in this final.
I mean, they could have and should have. I mean, through the tournament, yes. But then again, the coach has the prerogative to back players and back them right through, especially when the team is winning. It becomes easier to drop players when the team is losing. But once guys have got a run of form and the team is winning, sometimes it can be kind of productive to make changes. It was a decent enough decision from Rob Walter to keep, and especially with Reza, back them through the tournament and hope. And I mean, at the end of the day, a coach hopes, selectors hope that a player will come off. Unfortunately for Reza, he got on the ball. He got the ball of the tournament. With the fact that he hasn't batted quite well, he got the ball of the tournament. And I think with Aiden, could he have left that? Could he have tried to guide it for a single? Maybe, could have, should have, would have. But such things don't count at the end of the day.
I know they always say in sport, the runners-up are never remembered. It's just the champions. But I think this time around, it's very different, Khanyiso. We will always remember what the Proteas have done. You know, maybe just your message to them as well, you know, as we await their arrival at OR Tambo, and how we really should be celebrating this milestone and overlooking this loss in the final.
Now that they've learned how to win a semi-final, finals can go either way. Finals can turn on a change of luck. So now that they've learned, it's going to be baby steps for them. Now that they've won a semi-final, they can go and win another semi-final, and then hopefully then be able to win the final.
And hopefully they can do it at home, right?
Could be.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, Khanyiso. We are heartbroken indeed. Absolutely heartbroken. And that's because the Proteas put up such a great fight. At some point, they needed 30 from 30, and we thought it could happen. We thought they would see it through. But of course, losing by 7 runs to India, a phenomenal run that they've had in this World Cup, unbeaten until the final. And also, you know, just to the Indian cricket team that have been jogging at the final stage, but this time around were able to surpass what they were not able to do in the past.